So I'm just going to start with how we met, and we talk our way through it. And I'm a talker, so when I'm going wayward and I speak,
both.
One of them is not good. One of them is the right one.
One.
But usually I'm talking in excitement. About 20 years ago, 20 years ago, we went for a Pensa conference at Tech. I had done this. I had been in nursing school. This was my third year. And so my third year was done at Tech. I was at Confanoche, and then we went to Tech to do the Pensa conference. And I was supposed to be at a health desk because obviously I was a student nurse. And when we're at Pensa conference, the student nurses and the medical students are the ones that man the health desk. And so I was supposed to be at the health desk. I think this glasses, the light is jumping into it. If you don't need it. Yeah, if I get one. I was supposed to be at the health desk. But Diana has been singing all her life, and so when I get there and you give me a microphone and a syringe, I will take the microphone and leave the syringe.
That's right.
It's a no-brainer. So I would always jump onto the stage. So I had been singing. I had never been to the health desk. And so this particular day I had finished my singing and I came to the health desk. There were two chairs. My colleague, who happens to be the wife of my manager now, Ivy, was on one. And then there was this free one and I sat on it. And when I sat down, about 5 minutes into it, a young man who now happens to be my husband walked up to us and said, "Excuse me, you are sitting on my chair."
Hey.
I was so crossed. I was like, "Listen, you're not even a gentleman." Well, so I just got up. I said, "You can have it." And he went, "Oh, I was just joking. You can sit." I was like, "No, my sorry for
That's right.
I was I was like, so that was the first time I ever met him. But I think you had seen me sing.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think I had come to sing at Pensa so many times then. But that was the first time we met. Fast forward, we were they came to Confanoche. I think midway through your training, you leave Tech and come to Confanoche. And so we came to Confanoche and we were in the same cell meeting. And so when we finished our cell meeting, the medical students will walk us to the nurses' hostel. And so we'll do this journey, myself, Joseph, my manager's wife now, Ivy, Rhoda, a lot of them. We all ended up marrying each other, It was so funny. I think it was just David that married.
That cell has a lot of questions.
That cell has a lot of questions to answer because a lot of us married each other. But we would walk into the nurses' hostel. And at this particular time, I was speaking to him, trying to link him up with other, why not go out with this one? Why not go out with this one? It wasn't in my mind to even date him or anything. I think he had a mind of his own. So one day he just said, "What about you? You want us to be alone on here?" I like the reaction. Yeah, I like. Please turn on your cameras. It makes me know whether I'm talking too much, whether.
Yes, please turn on the cameras for us.
It's like when I'm on stage and I'm talking.
That's right.
It's just nice to see
some reaction,
so that I know it's going well or it's not.
It's going well. Please send the camera on. As for this love story, if you don't, come on, guys.
And he asked, "What about you?" Now that I think about it, that was smooth, wasn't it?
Yeah, somehow for a Pentecost
boy, that was a smooth line. that was a very smooth line. He took me unawares. But on a more serious note, I think I had set certain standards for myself, and I'll tell you those standards I had set for myself. One of the first one was the first person I ever said yes to was going to be my husband. Whoever I agreed to date was going to be my husband. So it was a very hard task knowing who was the right one. And I knew that this was either going to make or make me. And I got very confused. And at that particular time, I had a lot of people that were interested in me.
Mm.
And for this, I would stop here for a minute and tell every young lady listening who's not married that is always the ripe time for you. And when that time comes and you don't seize it, you will miss it.
Mm.
Let me break it down. There is that time when all eyes are on you.
Mm.
When you have got 3-4 guys all asking you out, and you can't put your finger on what the problem with this guy is, and you don't know which one it is. That should be your sign that you have to choose one of them, or you will miss your opportunity.
Times and seasons.
Times and seasons.
That's right.
Times and seasons. At this particular point in time, I had about 4 or 5.
10.
Oh, wow. There was about there was this guy in South Korea. No, it was Korea, Japan or Korea.
Well, you are the one who.
There was Korea. There was one medical student in Kolebu. There was one in PIWC. There was about 2 in the UK. And I have to tell you that none of them had any. There was actually one in Tech as well. And 10 years. But I was so confused because what I had prayed to God for was that the person I wanted to marry had to be a Christian first and foremost, and then had to have education my level or above me. That was all I asked. No ethnic thing, nothing, no age, no career, just my level of education. At that time, I was in nursing school. So a nurse, a teacher, a polytechnic leaver, a graduate, anybody, as long as it was within the will of God, was going to be okay for me. And everybody around that time would have been okay for me, just looking at what my specifications were. Now, in my confusion, my mother, bless her, and my parents said, don't go to a man's house. Everybody was welcome to your house, to our house. They are welcome to come visit you. And so all these men would come visit at every point in time. They would come and visit. And one time my dad, may his soul rest in peace, called and said, Danny, hey, a lot of men come to visit you. What is the problem? And I said, Daddy, surprisingly, they all want me. They all want to go out with me. And this was his response. Hey, can you have a problem? My dad, hey, you know what problem? And
oh my God.
It was like, this is the time to make the decision, because this can make or make you. Anyway, so and then he said, speak to your mother. Speak to your mother about this. So I spoke to my mom, and I said to her, this is what I'm battling with. And my mother, in her Ghanaian Christian Pentecostal mentality, said to me, Mommy, pray about it. When you're confused like that, you ask God for a sign. And I know at the beginning of your series, Dr. Sam, you spoke about this sign and how the sign was an issue for you and Auntie Ya.
It was a big problem.
I can understand.
Auntie Ya will tell you her version.
One day.
Joseph says he can understand. You kind of understand what Auntie Ya went through, right?
Oh my God.
Anyway, so my mother said to me, pray about it and ask God for a sign. And she said, you can ask God for anything. And so in my prayers, and when I say I prayed, I committed a whole 40-day fast to praying into my marriage and God giving me the right one. And this is what I asked God for. I said, whoever was going to be my husband was supposed to give me a present, and the present had to be a piece of cloth. And the cloth had to either be a GTP or a Hollandaise. I was too specific. I don't even know what was going through my mind to just be that specific. And listen, people, God still answers prayers. I have to say that. Let me just lay that God still answers prayers. And when you're so specific, he can be that specific with you. and answer your need. Bible says he supplies our needs according to his riches in glory. He answers prayers. Anyway, so 40 days I prayed because PRWC then was handling a 40-day fast. And I was so specific. I said I wasn't even going to open my mouth to ask God because the devil will hear it and let someone bring it to me. So I made this request in my mind. And so I prayed, and for 40 days, anybody that asked, I was like, I've prayed, I'm looking for a sign. Oh, did I get presents? Oh, I got presents. Joseph brought me a necklace.
No, really?
Oh, yeah, somebody brought me an album. Somebody brought me things I was getting. I didn't even tell them it was a present, but they were just bringing things. And there was this guy in South Korea, I think it was. And one day he called and said, I want to give you a present. I want to give you a piece of cloth. I really want to give you a hollandaise. But the hollandaise, I have to order it in, he said hollandaise and lace. What would you like? I said, whichever. I don't mind. Whatever you want to give me, I'm okay with it.
That's right.
And he said, and then he said, I mean, if I have to get you hollandaise, I have to ask somebody in Holland to buy it and post it to you. So I'm going to give you lace. Ooh, sign of a cross. That guy was old. He was like 15 years around it. Hey.
Oh my God.
And so he brought me a beautiful lace. And so he wasn't the one, obviously. And then one time, Joseph, on my birthday, going back, my sister Eunice's husband used to work at GTP. And one time he said that every piece of cloth that Woodin makes is made in GTP. They print all the Woodin fabrics. So on my birthday, Joseph brought me an outfit made from GTP Woodin. At this point, let me lay it here that I was falling in love with Joseph. I had fallen in love with Joseph. We were talking, but he will ask, so how far? I'm like, I'm still praying. But in my heart, I wish my sign was there. And I was falling in love with him. I was like, God, if he's the one. And so on my birthday, he brought me this dress. He called Anita, who is actually on the line now. And Anita took you to somebody that made that outfit from Woodin and brought that to me. So when I got that dress, I thought, that's my Joseph, he's mine, hallelujah.
Praise God.
So that I was in the UK. So when I came to Ghana, I was when I actually accepted. That was on the 9th of February. So we have anniversaries. 9th of February was when I said yes.
That's right.
Very close to a Valentine. So, when I said yes, my Valentine present came.
That's
there was
right.
the whole, about it at that time. And so I was excited. At this particular point, we were in a relationship. I had said yes to a man. Hey. And then I was walking through Osu one day and I entered a Woodin shop and I asked them, do you make all your clothes in GTP? And the girl said, well, most of them. Oh, my heart. Said, well, most of them, not all of them. I went straight to that fabric Joseph used to buy that dress, make that dress. And I said, what about this one? And she said, well, we make this from Cote d'Ivoire. It's not GTP. Listen, this thing I'm telling you, you have no idea. And I didn't tell you that.
Like suicide.
Like it was suicide. Had made a mistake. The outfit he brought was not GTP. It wasn't Hollandaise. It was from Cote d'Ivoire. I started praying. I was like, God, so he's not the one.
Pray to the unwavering.
Someone said I would have fainted. It was like, hey.
Jesus.
I was like, God, I think what helped me then And sometimes it's good to set certain standards. I had said to myself, the first guy I said yes to was going to be my husband. And so I said, God, then if he's not the one, let him leave. Let him leave me, because I am not leaving. You know, if he's not the one, let him go. I had my anxieties, I had my fears, because my father in one of his speeches had said, your marriage can make or make you. And he spoke about how there was a woman who almost would have turned his life around. I also knew about my mom and my dad's marriage that almost broke up because of a wedding gown. And that's a whole story to be told on a different day. But I just knew that something small can mess up your life. And I was worried, I was troubled, and I was praying to God to let him leave me if he wasn't the one. So one day I came to Ghana and he said to me, I really want to buy you a piece of cloth. I wish I had money to buy you a Hollandaise, but can I just buy you a GTP for now? Oh, Jesus. Because I still hadn't told him that was my sign. I hadn't said anything to him. I remember where we went at Edum. I still have kept that cloth. I made kaba and slits with it. And to all those on social media who were saying my kaba and slits then wasn't the best, you know, I put up a picture yesterday. Yes. And I was trending. Listen, they are too young to know what was happening at the time. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
But he bought me a piece of cloth, GTP. I just went to God and I thanked him. I just thanked him for that. And I will tell you that over the years, God has shown me that he deals with me by elimination. That the things that are not mine, he takes them out of the way.
That's right.
I can give you a zillion reasons why all those guys at that time were not my husbands. To be honest, the one that brought me the lace, who was asking whether I wanted a Hollandaise or a lace, apart from the guy's age, I had no issues with him. I tell you what, whilst he was pursuing me a day before his marriage to another girl, he was still pursuing me. I didn't even know I knew. Now, this is a guy who had won the heart of my family. Oh, the guy knew how to gift. He was gifting Eunice, gifting my friends, gifting my mother, gifting everybody. He was hands-on. But I think a day before his marriage to someone else, he was still pursuing me. So you ask yourself, was this guy for me? No. I can eliminate, I can talk about everyone. But anyway, that's our love story of how we met, how God assured us that this was what it was.
Wow.
Did you need a sign?
No.
You didn't need a sign?
Yeah. No, as far as I'm concerned, okay, so as far as I'm concerned, okay, for those who don't know, I was born to a Catholic catechist. Okay, so my dad was a Catholic catechist as long as, I think before I was even born. So all my life I was a Catholic. I went to Pope John because purely my dad wanted Catholic schools. So you can imagine my background. And then through SU and all that, I became Pentecostal. So in terms of science, no, I had prayed and I work with having inner peace about something. So I had a friend, I had inner peace with her. And to me, that was enough for me. I have this philosophy that when God created Eve, he just paraded Eve by. He didn't say, this is your wife. He just let Eve pass by. And Adam started saying, oh, this is the bone of my bone, the flesh of my flesh, etc. So God would parade people into your life and you decide who they are to you. So I think Genesis 2, God brought everything he created for Adam to name. So he just gave names. But when he saw Eve, he just said that this is mine, this is my bone, this is my flesh. So to me, that is enough. Once I have inner peace with it, that settles it for me. So I wasn't praying for a sign. I didn't want to go through difficulty. I want easy life.
No 40-day wahala.
No 40 day wahala.
I mean, to be fair, the 40 days I did come actually because it was a church
It was
thing
a
as well.
church. It was a church.
Okay.
It was a church 40 days as well. So
Were you playing about me?
not really. But I mean, to be fair, to be fair, the reason I was so relaxed was I think I was in a 5th year medical school, and it wasn't like I must marry tomorrow. So I think I had all the time ahead of me. I wasn't in a hurry. My initial plan was, well, I finished medical school. I take some years to sort myself out before I even think about marriage. And then I met someone I fell in love with, and I thought, okay, that's it. That's it. That's it for me.
Anyway, so yeah, so when God paraded me in front of him, he took me and so it took 2 years, and I've been paying for this the rest of my life. It took me 2 years to say yes to him. And in a joyful moment when I say, I love you more than you love me, he goes, no, I love you first. Just as Christ first loved us, I love you first. So you can love me more. And he will go like 2 years. Oh, Jesus, guys, you're bringing these pictures up.
We gotta bring it out.
We gotta bring it.
I mean, this is my wife in secondary school.
Okay,
so my
so
wife
this
is still,
you know what?
still gorgeous.
Thank you,
Even
babe.
at that time.
Thank you, babe.
This is the abusing to
But this is secondary school.
This is
some
secondary school.
many years ago.
Okay.
Fair enough.